The constant battle for doing more and improving and getting better, getting what you want out of life faster is always the end goal. What is going on, guys? If you guys do not know me, my name is Ethan Karmalinsky. I live in Miami, Florida. I am 23 years old, and I'm currently building a $1 million marketing agency, referral agency, and beyond. So I wanted to essentially get on here, quickly update you guys on what is going on, where my head's at, where my business is at, what are my next goals, what am I struggling with, and yeah, how do I get to my $1 million mark? So yeah, recently over the last like week or so, I would say it's been a lot of like thinking, chewing on different ideas, and I think that this week it's really time to go hard. Um, I went to, if you guys don't know who Patrick Bet David is, he basically is he's a lot more into politics than business, but he does have a couple different, he's in business a little bit, and he had what he calls the Vault, which is basically a business conference up in Orlando, and there was a lot of people there. I think there was like 5,000, maybe 10,000 business owners there, or just people in general. And it was pretty cool. I kind of looked at that as what I would consider like a vacation because I just went over there. I didn't attend the whole thing, and I was kind of just like doing my own thing, but I was around a lot of cool people. Shout out Caduce. He is actually, he has a software called Informail, which is what I personally use for all my email accounts. So he's basically the reason, and him and his company and his co-founder are the reason why I'm able to essentially send out as many emails as I am right now and can. Which kind of brings up a good point and where I wanted to touch on. So there's a couple things going through my mind right now in my business, and it has to do with number one, my structure. Now I titled a video a couple weeks ago of I've come up with a $15,000 offer. And basically what the offer was is $15,000 upfront. It's basically a credit towards the referral fees I generate. And then I also threw on a guarantee as well. And basically what it is, it's like, okay, you pay me $15,000, you secure the territory. I guarantee 5 listings in 6 months, or your money back. Now, I felt pretty confident about throwing that guarantee out because I wasn't necessarily offering this, and I kind of got someone to take me up on it, like half and half. But I wasn't like offering this to every agent, right? I offered this to only agents who I feel comfortable that can actually perform on it. However, I realized after talking with a couple different people, and personal experience as well, is that I do think that I can fulfill a guarantee. However, I think it makes it a lot harder because it now de-incentivizes the agent, and I'll explain what I mean. Which is, if I guaranteed listings, the only way they can actually get listings, a lot of the work is on their part as well. Because I can send, all the leads in the world, but if they're not calling and following up and doing a good job with these leads, then I'm essentially guaranteeing something that I don't know if they'll be able to perform. So, and even if they do perform, even if I met the guarantee, then the problem essentially becomes like how much more likely are they to nurture if they had some sort of more incentive rather than me guaranteeing. Now, I think the fundamental idea was a good idea, which is like charging up front and getting cash up front, and also to have the agent feel a sting when they work with me, right? Because I want the agent fully committed. I want the agent committed to me, and I want to be committed to the agent because I can only take on one agent per territory. Now, what I came up with, and I'm still kind of working on it, I'm kind of debating 2 models right now. So it's either charge per lead, and I came up with this idea when I was talking to a couple people at the Vault along with Caduce, and I would be essentially charging per lead, and then he actually threw out the idea of having a referral fee on the back end. And I was like thinking about that. I'm like, okay, well, if I know that 1 out of 20, 1 out of 25 leads on average, if you're like, this is baseline metrics, on average will convert to a listing, you're paying, let's say $100 a lead, you're paying $2,000 per closing, plus my referral fee. So I think the referral fee on average might be like 3,000, 4,000 bucks. So you're paying another, 1,000, 2,000 bucks on top of that. that for me is like super worth it. And I think for them as well, because they're paying, you know, a total of 35% of their commission, but I'm like literally generating all the business. I think that it's a solid deal because number one, if it's a bad agent, I still get paid. Like that's like by far number one. Like that's super nice. That way I can test different agents while not having to essentially, because right now I feel like my offer, how it is right now, which is just paying a referral fee to me, it's a no-brainer. Like I have agents, I'm talking to agents left and right where it's like, hey, can you do this for me? Hey, can you do this for me? But the problem is, it's like I can only work with one agent per territory. So it's not like I can take on every single agent that says, hey, can you do this for me? And so like in full, like the thing is, it's like my offer is so good that so many agents want it and there's so much demand, so I have to increase the price, right? Like that's fundamentally, so like I can go through like the whole thing of like why I'm debating what I'm debating, but the thing is that I wanted to essentially document, um I think the $15,000 offer was a good in theory but not in practice, because it essentially the incentives are wrong, or disaligned, I would say. So I will continue working on that, but right now I think that the goal is to essentially get as many agents under my belt as possible. And what that looks like, and I said this like 1 or 2 weeks ago, and I've kind of done it, but now I really am dialing in the agent recruiting um, platform. Which what I'm essentially going to do is generate leads all across America, probably in like top markets. Whenever I generate a lead in a market, I'm literally going to pull like the top 10, 20, 30 agents in that market, and then I'm going to automatically text them. And like I was pushing back against this idea a lot because I didn't necessarily know or like the idea of like marketing to agents, because it's like the reality is I don't necessarily feel like a need to market. Like I just said, I have so many agents like raising their hand, but I do need an automatic system, maybe not necessarily automatic, but I need a system to whenever I have a lead in a different area that I don't have an agent in, I would like to essentially be able to find one agent who agrees to my terms and also agrees to nurture this lead. So that's what I'm currently doing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is the last week has been hectic. Obviously for a lot of different like reasons going around the U.S. I've had a lot of different realizations, but I think that right now it's I literally have 0 trips. I'm literally home for the next 3 months until Christmas. So this is a span to where it's like I'm literally just going to focus so much on volume and generate so much more business, as much business as I possibly can, or as many leads as I possibly can, and refer it out to agents. And I think the idea is to do this so much to where it's like I can command as much money as I want up front, because even if the agent said no to it, I have 10 other agents lined up to take my leads. So I know this is kind of like a rant. I did want to leave with this one last thing, which I found pretty insane. I actually had a conversation last week at the vault, and I'll tell you what's going through my head. I'll just give you the numbers. So this is pretty insane. I can send out 25,000 emails per day is my system cap. Now with my ideal leads that like actually can like convert the best, it's about 1 in every 100 leads convert into or emails convert into a lead. Meaning if I sent 25,000 emails to the solid lists, it's about 250 leads. Now I know that this is insane. I know that 1 out of 25 on average convert to a listing, meaning I can generate 10 listings per day if I send out as many emails as I possibly can, which essentially means, now this is insane, each referral check on average nets me, I think it's like, if you were to take the average home value, it would be around $3,500. So 10 listings a day would be around $35,000 per day. Now, and that's about $1 million a month. Now, obviously, like, I'm speaking them like semi-hypothetical, but it's really not, because these are the numbers I'm literally looking at. Now, the only two problems I need to solve for to actually hit those numbers, besides all obviously like the logistics of like scraping all these leads and managing all these leads and the automations that I would have to have in place. The really only huge, massive bottlenecks I need to solve is, number one, lack of data, because there's not the leads that, or the list that convert at that high of amount is, right now I've yet to figure out a way to where I can generate 25,000 high quality emails per day that I can actually send out. So if I solve that, and then number two is if I need obviously agents to send them to all across America. Now, $1 million a month is pretty insane. Like, that's wild. Obviously, I started this journey to document my journey to $1 million a year. But it's crazy to think that it's like, if I just extrapolate the numbers out of what, like, this isn't like hypothetical numbers. Like, these aren't fake numbers. If I just send out more emails, generate more leads, and refer them out to more agents, I could potentially hit $1 million a month. It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane. So, I think that like my goal has the goalpost has significantly moved for me, which makes it amazing, because it's like, I documented this like 2 weeks ago. I hit my first 20K month, and quite honestly, the 20K month really didn't really feel like much to me, because I have such high goals. So, yeah, let's keep going. I feel like people watch this and are like, dude, how's this guy, doing what he's doing? And it's like, quite honestly, I honestly don't know. I'm just trying to figure it out along the way, do as much volume and share my lessons. So appreciate you guys watching.